What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. This is episode 15 of On the Floor with Liv and Cor. I'm Cor, that's Liv. And if you're wondering, yes, we didn't plan it, but we are both wearing Everyone Watches Women's Sports shirts. And when we turned on this recording, when we first saw each other, we busted into the greatest laughter you've ever heard in your life.
I needed that. It was a long day.
A long day. You're telling me, but the real quote from Olivia was, Cory, we need to spend less time together because now we are telepathically wearing the same shirts without even knowing it.
Like, we don't even live anywhere near each other.
Not even close.
Like, the only way we could live further is if I lived more east.
Yeah. I mean, if you lived in New York, that'd be kind of fun. I would visit you a lot. Although Chicago, I am visiting you in Chicago, so it's like whatever.
True.
Okay, you guys, episode 15. Number one, I cannot believe this is episode 15. It has been the best thing we've ever done, Olivia. I think
Been
it
the
is
best thing we've ever done.
ever done. And I think that the community agrees because it has just been so much fun to get to meet so many of you, get to hear from so many of you. And after episode 14, which many of you listened to and many of you have commented on YouTube and we've been hearing from in our messages, um, it's just been the best community that has been being built. And invite more friends to come to it because we're having a blast. And I hope you guys are too. It sounds like you are. So we felt like for episode 15, which we should have done top 15, but we didn't. We're doing top 25. We went to our social media accounts and we decided we wanted to do like top moments of the NCAA season in 2025. And Olivia put it out on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. And a user with the account NJ Cali Guy Gym Fan, which NJ feels maybe New Jersey Cali Guy Gym Fan. Anywho, gave us an idea, and we were gonna do top five, like a nice little like top five podium. But why limit to five when you can do 25?
Yeah. Why do less when you can do more?
I tell myself that every day. Right. Words to live by. Honestly, make it a t-shirt. And with that, we are going to go through 25 moments in the NCAA season in no particular order. And we're just going to shout them out as they come. Are you ready, Olivia?
Let's discuss bubbles first because I'm thirsty.
Yeah. Wait, important. You guys were really slacking on this like bubbles idea because it really started strong, right? Do you remember the beginning? Ariana Grande descending in her bubble, and then arrived our actual bubbles. We're bringing it back, okay? Olivia, what bubbles do you have today? Yeah. 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 She has
Nice,
Topo
crisp
Chico in the glass bottle, you guys.
ASMR.
Mhm.
Yes. I love a glass bottle Topo Chico. In fact, I drank one of these before this podcast, to which my boyfriend Bryce goes, haven't you already had one of those today? I said, it's water. Don't judge.
Hydration is key.
What do you have?
I went tried and true.
That's good.
LaCroix Pamplemousse.
Pamplemousse.
And this is my commitment to the future episodes of On the Floor with Liv and Cor that I'm going to get more creative.
Yeah, I need to be better too. I truly did not steal this from work. I bought this.
Yeah, I bought this one too.
So I do need to be better about branching out.
Yeah. If you have recommendations, please send them to us because we're looking for a little zest, a little bubble, a little in our life. Okay. With
Okay,
that,
Corey.
on the count of three, not the bottle opener. One, two, three. Oh, it's exploding on her. Okay.
No, I did it. I did it. Cheers.
Okay. Cheers, Olivia. Okay. Top 25 in no particular order.
God, that's crisp.
I'm going first. Are you
Are we
ready?
holding ourselves to a minute for each, or are we?
I just feel like let's see how the wind blows, but yeah, let's get through these 25 because there were some amazing moments and honestly, this is the real deal. We could talk for more than 25 moments. This season, when we started to unpack these moments, phenomenal. Really cool moments, good highlights. The list does not end here. But yes, let's limit ourselves to about a minute per.
Okay,
Okay.
start
Number
us off.
one, my no particular order, first note. team props, team stick props. Okay. We have the Stanford stick. We have the West Virginia plunger. We have, you know how much I love the Oregon State Beavers chainsaw. How does it get through TSA? I just don't know. Um, we have flowers on the floor thrown by fans onto the floor at Michigan State for Skyla's floor routine. There were props and props and props, and I am here for a prop. We had stick necklaces. We had crowns that we found out from Haley Bryant. Jay Clark takes home and super glues the end to try to not get stuck in their hair.
We have a new bear head because the old one was stinky.
Stinky bear head, no longer. Also, Olivia and I did touch the bear head at nationals, and it is soft, it is cushy, and could also resemble a pillow if you wanted it to. These stick props really gave me life. And this year, they made television debuts. I'm here for it. It really felt like a season where stick props became a brand element that everyone needs to jump on board with.
The whole Stanford cinematic reveal of finding the perfect stick at whatever away meet or home meet they're at, absolute brilliance, should be nominated for an Emmy. Like,
Period.
yes,
Period.
yes. Emmy, yeah, Emmy.
Emmy, yeah.
Just checking my work.
Yeah.
All right, I will do another one. Again, no particular order, but Avery Neff's comeback.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Like we talk about it a lot, and I know Scott Bregman, when he was on the podcast, he was just like, I thought she was a goner and we weren't going to see her till next season. Whatever Avery, in her mind and her body, the medical staff at Utah and the coaching staff and everyone around her, what they did for her in order for her to come back and be one of the top all-around athletes at the national champion, like, that is a mind-blowing moment and story. Everyone will remember where they were when they saw that floor routine. And to see her 3 weeks later doing a bar routine and then 5 weeks later doing all around is absolutely surreal. So
I remember her taking the floor at nationals, and I just had a moment of like reflection and gratitude for her health, for her the staff around her, all of the things, because like you're so right. We all know where we were when we saw that video. Um,
right.
and could never have predicted that she would be doing the all around of the national championship.
So happy she did.
Amen. Amen. Okay, up next in our top 25 list, kind of a double, but it feels on the same category. Helen Hu and Brooklyn Moores both earning tens this season. Helen Hu on beam, Brooklyn on floor. Just feels so right. And I think that everyone watching this particular podcast knows that I don't need to explain that anymore. It just, we would be remiss if we didn't have that idea, that concept, this moment, this memory, core memory, truly, that forever and always, Helen Hu, 10 on beam, and at Brooklyn Moore's 10 on floor, just is so correct.
And winning their respective events.
Period.
So correct.
So correct. It's so good. So good. Okay, your turn.
Okay. 4 of 25. Ohio State men's gymnast Cameron Nelson doing 2 triple backs in one floor routine. I think he mounts with a triple pike and then second pass triple back. That is superhuman stuff. And my gosh, I just
I
no,
saw
no.
it. I saw it at Winter Cup, and it was so cool watching the crowd because at that point he had done it before, and like watching the crowd like all brace their armrests a little bit just to watch this get thrown down. That's unbelievable. I never thought in my lifetime we'd be seeing triple backs, and now we're seeing two in a one floor routine. Come on,
I mean, it's so impressive. Had to mention it.
love it. Okay, well, while we are on the topic of men's gymnastics, number five for me, which again, no particular order. The Michigan Wolverines men winning the national championship at home in the Chrysler Center was very special. And we did talk about it in our last episode. We turned it on when we were in Fort Worth when Paul Judah missed his hand on the pommel. And it was like the beginning of the storyline of who was going to take the championship. And as you watch men's gym, the scores feel like they fluctuate like crazy. And as I'll be honest, as I learned when we were watching with some former male athletes that were in the room, it all depends on what event you're going to figure out score potential. And for me, like that was so exciting to like think about, okay, what event is Illinois going to? Is Oklahoma going to? Is Stanford going to? That to see how the end of that meet was going to go. But I mean, the end of that meet was not only a national championship for Michigan, but we also had a Paul Judah, Reina Gugino engagement moment, which is not on our list. It's a part of the national championship of 2025 men's gymnastics. So
Yes,
that's
much
my
iconic stuff happened in a span of like 25 minutes.
amen. 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 What's your next one?
Okay, my next one is kind of a blanket statement, but I think all need it's just my note that I wrote down was successful seasons for three schools in particular. Again, this is not acknowledging not the successes of other schools. There were tons of success, but in particular, Arizona, Mizzou, and Michigan State in 2025 had absolutely remarkable seasons. Arizona, I just went on road to nationals before we started recording just to get like just a better idea of what that means. And if you're a numbers person, this will really jazz you up. Arizona ranked 31st last year and 16th this year. Remember, and qualifying into the third round of the NCAA tournament, going into the regional final. Just so amazing. Mizzou, obviously, we all know Mizzou coming out third, that dramatic moment at the end where an inquiry bumped up their score and got them third place at the national championship. But it's been a 10-year climb. I mean, they were pretty low in the rankings back in 2014, and it has been a climb for them. And Michigan State, I mean, come on, you guys. Like, we don't have to beat a dead horse here. 56th place in 2021, 14th last year, 6th this year. It's just so exciting to see this success from all programs, but these three really had years that we would be crazy to not call out.
Amen. Amen. No notes on that. That's so good. So, so good. Okay, next one. This is a hot current event topic, truly. But to begin, this note from the 2025 season is on the topic of Morgan Price of Fisk University. Now, Morgan, in 2024 won the all around in her respective national championship. And in 2025, she also won the all around in her respective national championship. And now many of us know the story of Morgan Price, but now we're in a position where just this week she has announced that she will be done at Fisk University and that she is interested in going to continue her gymnastics year for, I believe, one additional year of eligibility at a different university in the country. She talks about in her statement exploring, more competitive environments. And she talks about maybe her gymnastics ability can grow and she wants to see what can happen with that in her final year. Now, we saw Morgan Price also get a 10 this season, which was so exciting. And, I honor her and I commend her. She had a full ride scholarship offer to the University of Arkansas. This university became a program under the NAIA umbrella, which is not it, which is different than the NCAA. So, without getting into the details, there are different recruiting rules. There is the transfer portal is not really a thing in that respect. But I'll explain that essentially she forewent her full ride scholarship to be a part of the first historically Black college and university, that I believe HBCU, at Fisk University gymnastics program. And she has made an incredible history and she got to be a part of history. And now she's looking to go back into an NCAA environment. Now, what I mean by she doesn't have to enter the transfer portal is essentially because there are two separate entities, NAIA and NCAA, she's not technically transferring. She is actually an athlete who has eligibility that can be picked up by anyone. And she's able to basically start conversations. So that thank you post is her basically waving and saying, "Hi, every team in the country, call me." And I'm sure she is getting phone calls because she would be a very exciting student athlete to be a part of your team.
Thank you for explaining that because I actually didn't know the logistics of that. And I think that's really interesting that like people, if you're listening and you're, keeping up with news of the transfer portal, she won't be in it. So it is interesting to know that she is still available until she announces where she's deciding to go. But whoever gets her, that's a get. That
Yeah.
is a big time get.
I'm going to add one more piece of information on this because I think this is a misconstrued idea just in terms of the Morgan Price conversation is technically when she was committed and signed her national letter of intent to the University of Arkansas, um, because she went to an NAIA school, it was not illegal for Fisk University coaches to contact her as a student athlete. So the way that the conversations all started, because the recruiting rules didn't apply in that scenario, it felt really unfair because you can't just go and poach athletes, but because of the nature of the NAIA situation, that's how she was able to have a conversation with Fisk and how, in turn, how she left that situation. And yes, everyone on here knows Jordan Weber is my very best friend, and we have a great relationship. Um, I have to commend her for the way that she released Morgan to go and achieve history in the way that she wanted to go and achieve it. It's not easy taking a full ride scholarship recruit to a great university in a great recruiting class. She even had Frankie Price, her sister, on the team at the time. It made a ton of sense. For Frankie and Morgan to be there, and Morgan was so excited that it came as a shock to Jordan. But I have to commend Jordan for, saying to Morgan as a student athlete, as with dreams and goals and wanting to make history. She released her well, and she's so proud of her, and there's so much to be proud of in Morgan. So I have no doubt in my mind that I'm sure Jordan wants a piece of Morgan for maybe her last year, but it's up to Morgan to see where she wants to go and where these dreams are going to take her. But it's very exciting to see what this potential could be.
Great note. It's a great one. Okay. This next one is a highlight for many, 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 many people. And in my Twitter X outreach, many people flagged this one. Shay Campbell doing 4 different floor routines. First of all, Shay Campbell, one, yes. 4 different floor routines in a span of 5 weeks. So senior night, she does, and jump in if I'm wrong, Cory. Senior night, she does her freshman year routine at Poly. Then they go to Utah and she does her Black Panther routine in the Shay leotard, the Black Panther inspired Shay leotard.
Yes.
Then she does Missy Elliott at Big Tens and regionals, I'm pretty sure. And then she does her sophomore year floor routine at NCAA's. Is that right?
Not Big Tens. At Big Ten, she went back to the routine she learned this year because remember we got fooled. They played her old music
Yeah.
at podium
Is
training.
that Missy? Is it Missy this year though?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So she
correct.
did
You're correct.
freshman year routine, Black Panther routine for Big Tens and regionals. She did Missy, so this year's,
Yes,
and
you're
then
right.
she did sophomore at NC's.
Yes, you're right. You're
I
right.
mean, that's just so fabulous. And it was so cool to talk to BJ Doss, the assistant coach at UCLA, in one of our episodes leading up to the national championship. And she was telling us a bit about, some of those routines are more intricate. I mean, all of Shay's choreo is clearly very difficult, but she was mentioning in particular the sophomore year routine just has more intricacies to it,
Yep.
and that they had to do more cardio and more in-depth work on the routine to make sure it was in the shape that, she safely could do it and she wanted it to be in. And so I just think Shay is going to be so missed as an athlete across the board, but doing 4 floor routines over a span of like 5 or 6 weeks is super iconic.
Insane. It's so good. I'm gonna miss Shay. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna say a couple in a row. Are you ready?
Go
Number
for it.
nine. Number nine for me is witnessing the Jordan Bowers 39-9 at regionals here in Seattle.
Yes.
So good. So good. It was amazing. Okay. Another one, Arkansas beating both LSU and Florida at home this year, making them making it a kind of scary place for people to go to compete.
Yes.
And I believe at the time, LSU and Florida were like number two and number three. So they had beat the number two and number three teams at home in the season. Um, so yeah. A little want on that one. I think of note of whether we're calling it a highlight of the season or just a note of the season is this whole situation with one team being left out of the SEC tournament. Um, I'm just going to leave that there. That was something that happened in 2025.
Hope
And
that the rules for that, if that's something that remains in that conference, I hope the rules can be sorted out so that team doesn't have to sit out a weekend. That's all I'll say.
agreed. Agreed. And then the last one I'll say, this is going to be number 11 on our list. You'll come back because I think you should talk about this Auburn note that we have in here. The Michigan State University meet where they got to move to the Breslin Center was a really, really cool thing. You know, us on here, we love sport growth. We love seeing things happen and grow and moments come for programs that have set out dreams and they ask their administration, hey, can we do this wild thing? And then it works out and it's the best competitive environment ever. It was Michigan State versus Michigan in the Breslin Center in East Lansing, and it looked amazing. And hearing from the coaches and staff, it was a core memory for them. So that was really good.
Both sides. It was against Michigan too, and I talked to Bev after, and she said it was absolutely amazing. She was so thrilled to be able to be a part of that meet. So
Oh,
I just
cool.
okay, yes, I'm gonna talk by two notes. What are we at? Is this 12 and 13?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit two schools in Alabama. Number one is Alabama, because at the beginning of this year, everyone was like, who is this with this Bama team? You know, it was a little rocky, let's be honest. And the coaches and the athletes will admit it too. So we're not saying anything anyone disagrees with. And then I would say probably around like March 9th weekend, next weekend after that, like senior night weekends, they really put it together. And if you look at the Road to Nationals graph, it was like, and then it went like all the way up. And I just am so impressed. And, you know, there's controversy over that regional in many ways, not just about Bama or the Bama Cal situation, about Florida as well. And, you know, you can, not all of them could have made it. And it's sad, but it is impressive for Bama to have had that end of season push and really peak at the right time. You talk about that all season, and they did it. So I thought that was incredibly impressive. My other one is Auburn, other school in Alabama, just Auburn in general. I mean, they had the injury plague this entire season, and it was really hard because we got such a glimpse of the Kiko Jong and the Olivia Hollingsworth and all of them together competing, and it just felt magical. There were meets where they were going lights out. They beat Bama in Coleman. And so it's just, there was so much excitement and momentum for this Auburn team. And then Kiko gets hurt, which is just gut wrenching. And Olivia Hollingsworth gets hurt. And it was so hard to watch, but they still put up an incredible fight at the regional final in Seattle. Paige Zancan's vault, like, get out of here. I just will never get over that vault. It's so beautiful. Obviously, we talked about Kiko. Just the future of this team is very, very bright. And I'm just excited for them. I look forward to more Auburn gymnastics. And I just think it, you know, with Liv Greaves and competing at NCAAs with that stunning bar routine. And, you know, we're going to miss Gabby, but they have a really good thing going over there.
I agree. Those are two really good ones. This is like Auburn's a scary team.
Auburn is a very scary team.
In the middle of the season, they were a very scary team. And I'm excited to continue to watch them grow. Okay, this next one, I cannot share too much information because we do not have permission of sort to share the whole story. But there was a storyline that happened at the national championship. And I'm going to give you a little cliffhanger, but also just someone to keep your eyes on. Olivia Kelly at the University of Missouri is getting my award this year for most gritty athlete. Okay. Now, if you are one of the Mizzou coaches that I know listens to the On the Floor with Liv and Cor podcast, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But for everyone else listening, keep your eyes on Olivia Kelly. She is a gritty, hardworking, resilient athlete that has beautiful gymnastics, and you should absolutely keep your eye on her. Now, if you're Olivia Kelly and you're listening to this, girl, so proud of you. You freaking did it. You freaking did it. So, sorry for being ambiguous, but keep your eyes on Olivia Kelly.
Right now. All right, I'm gonna go with someone we all love. Ondine Ashampong doing beam. We want so much more Ondine. We all know that. We're so excited for more Ondine. But that beam routine, and look, we've talked to LCH and JCH. If you don't know who they are, they're Elizabeth and Justin Crandall Howell. We've talked to both of them about that moment at regionals. And Ondine had no idea that she wasn't capable of getting a score that was going to send them there. The team knew, from my understanding, a good portion of the team knew. And she did one of the most stunning routines, 9925. I don't know if that was a career high for her or not. Regardless, it was so beautiful. That switch ring is just breathtaking. And on the Ondine topic, I'm just going to say her clap back to someone on X this season who was like, Ondine, you're so beautiful. Why can't you do a better dismount? And her going, my knee. Like, sorry, my knee. Like, it was just so like, don't bother me, my knee.
Right. And very matter of fact, my knee, we're
My
coming
knee.
back from a very significant surgery, an injury.
It was just so cute and
Yeah.
so great.
I mean, Undine, period. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
so much more to come from Undine, I feel, and
So much more.
I'm so excited for that. Also, like the straight jump off of the beam in the first exhibition routine that
I
we had
mean, it
from
was just
her.
so good.
Right. We talked about it on the pod. Like, we are so happy to see coaches making smart decisions, but also getting people competitive experience. Like, amazing. Well done. Okay. I think we're at number 16. Number 16 for me has got to be the fact that we saw the very first gymnastics meet broadcast on Fox. Um, we love growing the sport, and having gymnastics for the very first time on a new network was a really big deal. So that meet was the UCLA versus Michigan State meet in Los Angeles, and then they broadcast another one, which was UCLA versus Utah. Our girl Olivia Karas was sideline commentator for that meet, and she crushed it. But it's so cool to see these meets going on more networks and getting more eyeballs. And it's been a fun season of seeing some great numbers on the sport of gymnastics. So we had to bring that one in here.
I
All right.
do have to say a funny story about that too, is that I
Yeah.
was Sam Peshek was the analyst on that meet at Utah. And she and I were just sitting downstairs in the lobby because the meet was later. And we were just talking about a couple of things for the meet. And her mom, Luann Peshek, sent her a text and was like, Sam, did you know that this meet is like on like Fox? Like not like Fox Sports, like Fox. Like that's a big deal. Sam was like, thanks, mom.
I love that.
Nervous enough, but she crushed it. And Connor Onion, the play-by-play, was great. And it was so much fun to work with them. So that was a big highlight for me this season too.
It was a big deal for you. I'm so proud of you, Olivia. That was so great.
And what a great meet to broadcast. So they were
100%.
two great meets, which makes me really happy. Okay, I'm going to take this next one. We're at number 17, and I know we mentioned her name already, but I'm bringing it back. We're just going to say Helen. Helen was a highlight. First 10 of the season, first 10 of her career. No one called that. I'm so happy none of us did. I remember she told me at nationals when I was talking to her, she was like, all my teammates came up to me and said, it was the first one. And she goes, yeah, of my career. And they're like, no, of the season. And she's like, oh. And she admitted to us on the podcast, she doesn't really like to be as connected with like other teams and things going on. And it's not a diss to anyone. That's just how she rolls. And if you know her, you know that that's just literally how she is. She's very focused on the now and where she is. And it was just so cute that her teammates had to say to her, like, no, you got the first 10 of the season. But not only the first 10 of the season, she nails the beam routine at regional finals to get them to the national championship. She nails the beam routine that won her the beam national championship to get to 4 on the floor with iconic Sellies we talked about. And then she won beam at the, I mean, like, talk about a storied end of her career. And I do want to, so this is funny. As many of you know, I could say it 100 billion, gazillion, trillion times, is that Helen and I did club gymnastics together at IK Gymnastics. We were coached by a magician, Irina Kudina. And my mom saw Cory's Instagram story and was trying to type in like the little answer questions thing or ask a question button. And she couldn't figure it out. So mom, we're going to work on that next time I see you. But she texted Cory and I in a group chat on Monday and said, I was having trouble dropping my comment in the box. So I thought I'd text you guys if you don't mind. And as a reminder, Cory's question was, what were your favorite moments from 2025 season? My mom goes, Helen who? My highlight. Watching her grow up from such a young age and experiencing that stunning beam routine with all of my heart and soul was such a moving experience. I couldn't stop crying. It was breathtaking. All of the flowers, every single flower on the face of the earth wouldn't be enough flowers, took my breath away. Yeah, good job, Mom. You crushed that.
Literally, Ellen. Amen. Amen. Okay. Here's some final ones that we have. We're almost there to 25. So I have to say, one is continued Pac-12 domination despite some shifting in a conference. And we had a lot of conference shifting this year, new teams, new conferences. But I just wanted to bring attention to the fact that Utah, moving out of Pac-12 to the Big 12, won their respective conference championship. Stanford moved out of the Pac-12 and into the ACC, and they won their conference championship. And then UCLA moved out of the Pac-12 and into the Big Ten, and they won their conference championship.
Play.
So I think that is super duper cool. And something to be said for Pac-12 just continuing and the power of that conference and what it used to be. But now we're seeing them in different parts of the country, and I think it's really cool. Now, on that, I'm going to take on one more before Olivia takes some Big Ten love in 3 notes that we have. I want to just to shout out, we've seen some injuries over the last 365 days. But one of the things that I've been really amazed by, and we talked about this a little bit with Ondine's return to play, that we've just been really big. Oh, and Avery Neff's return to play. Shout out to all of the athletic trainers. They are, dare I call them miracle workers? They are heroes in their own right. And I think every student athlete would agree with us on this. But one of the highlights for me of a student athlete who returned to competition this year after a significant injury last May at the US Classic was Connor McLean. Connor McLean from LSU, and a highlight for me was her return to the floor lineup at regionals at Penn State. To the point where if you watched our last episode and we regrouped on our rankings and where we thought podiums were going to be at nationals, I said I thought that we might see a floor championship from Connor. I mean, flawless technique, incredible like gymnast in her own right, but like her coming back to floor, my jaw was on the floor. It was unreal, and I'm so stoked for her. So I just had to shout that one out.
Agreed. Great one. Okay, I'm going to hit a couple of Big Ten ones, and then Cory's going to take us home with 2 final ones. So Kaylee Boozer, breakout season. She truly did a full 180. Kaylee Boozer, sophomore, University of Michigan. Gorgeous beam routine, added in vault after struggling with a mental block on the event. Just so remarkable. Kudos to her. Cannot wait to see 2 more years of her. Speaking of exciting things, Rutgers had such a historic season. Now, Rutgers, as many people are aware, have had some issues within their athletic department and with coaches, and they had such an amazing year. They bonded together with the leadership of Emily Lease on the sidelines, not competing, but you have Delaney Adrian and Gabby Dildy and these remarkable women leading the charge, qualified to regionals, first time, I believe, since 2014, and just They were amazing. I know they wanted to make it into the second round of regionals so badly, and it didn't end up working out that way, but I have no doubt in my mind that next year they will be even stronger. So massive kudos to the Scarlet Knights. You know how I feel about her, how Cory and I feel about her, but Maya Hooten's floor at nationals truly brought me to tears. I recorded myself watching it and posted it raw on social. And there was so much emotion packed into her doing that old routine and all the it was so emotional. And then seeing her get to just be retired and become a Missouri Tiger for the remainder of that meet and be a part of them and be in all their photos and celebrate. And she said the girls were so welcoming to her. And that just Maya Hooten, just God, I love her so much. And I'm just so beyond proud of her. And then a final one for me from the Big Ten, Frida Esparza, fifth year, qualifying to nationals, first time of her career going to nationals because she's been injured and struggling with injuries and doing that beautiful bar routine and getting to do it on the national stage. There's that video that the amazing UCLA videography team caught of her looking at Shea at the regional final after they qualified saying, I get to go to my first ever nationals, and she just starts to cry. And it's so that's sports right there. And so I just we couldn't go without celebrating Frida and where she got to end her career.
I
Just
love this because we talked about so many of these throughout the season, and it does feel like we're kind of like circling back to so many of them, but they did. They had so many great moments this year and deserve all the flowers. So hearing them in one full list of 25 highlights is really special. Okay, final two, 24. Are you ready? Scott Bregman, this one's for you. We would be remiss if we did not mention Maya Lazan on our list of 25 highlights from the NCAA season in 2025. Um, you guys, Maya Lazan hit that double full off beam to end her gymnastics career. And one of the most beautiful double fulls, technically perfect, unreal, will never forget, lives rent free in my mind. But watching LCH, Liz Crandall Howell, bow down to Lazan when she hit that final collegiate routine of her career. The respect is just incredible, but that picture was just so beautiful. I mentioned it last week. It was kind of resembling that Nora Flatley kiss the beam moment. We see this grand finale, but watching LCH really commend her student athlete in that way was just beautiful. Was just beautiful. And my 25th note, 25 and 25, Jade Carey. Jade Carey. For all of the personal reasons that I am so proud of her for, that she let us into in her life. Um, for all of the sticks, all of the scores, all of the tens, all of the paths that she has paved as an athlete in our sport. I am grateful to live in a time where I get to watch Jade Carey do gymnastics. And, I still am sitting here in disbelief that she will be an Olympic gold medalist that does not have an NCAA title to her name. I'm in disbelief. But Jade Carey, you are an icon. You will forever be remembered in our sport. You are the AAI award winner for 2025 and so much more. But we are so proud of you, Jade, and you deserve every bit of joy and happiness in your life. So that's all I got.
those were 25 freaking awesome highlights.
I
And we
agree.
certainly missed stuff. So please comment things that we missed that you want to make sure that are get its attention. And you know what? Honestly, 25, it was hard to cut it. It was hard to just keep it to 25. But what a year. And here's to many more.
Here's to many more. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode of On the Floor with Liv and Cor. We sure did have fun come up with this list. But keep the conversation going. We'll be back every week, and we love having this conversation with you guys. Comment below if you're on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things. Keep downloading, telling friends about this. But with that, we are out. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.